Thank the gods. You're no saint, I can see that. Though, who am I to question what form divine providence comes in? I am the great Alva Valai, reliquarian extraordinaire, seeker of mysteries, explorer of the unknown, lover of all things that glitter. And I need your help. The lost temple of Atzoatl. Halls lined with finery, boxes stuffed with glimmering riches and relics, touched by insurmountable power. For eons, lost to history. Until now. I've found a way to blaze a trail to that forgotten temple. A spell triggered by the blood of the Val. I've got some in me, you see. This spell will take you into days past. Once there, keep the portal open by slitting a few deserving throats. The longer you stay, the more I learn about the location of the present-day temple. Once we find it, we'll have all the time in the world to collect its many treasures. That's why we need to find the temple in the here and now. Be careful what you do while you're there, however. Any move you make ripples through time, changing things in this day and age. Well, what are you waiting for? Go make history. Good to see you survived your first incursion. Looks like you've killed a rival architect. That room would have received more attention from its original architect. What effect this has, only time will tell. Remember, killing an architect, whether they're a rival or the original builder, will change the temple for us in the present. Make it easier, harder, perhaps even more lucrative. Looks like you've killed the architect behind that chamber. I bet their rival will now take over. A good trade? Only time will tell. Remember, killing an architect, whether they are the original builder or their rival, will change the temple for us in the present. Make it easier, harder, perhaps even more lucrative. And how curious. It seems you've opened a passage between chambers that wasn't there before. Well done. This can only serve us in the future. Ah, interesting. This hallway wasn't on the map a moment ago. You've changed things, Exile. Ah, it looks like more chambers have been connected. Hopefully, this will make our journey easier at a later date. Listen, these blood spells are fickle things. They must be performed under certain conditions. Days of the week, stars aligned, that sort of thing. I'll scout out a new location to perform the next ritual. Find me, and we'll continue our venture. I knew you'd find me. You and I were two coins in the same purse. Your last foray got us a little closer to finding the temple, but we have a ways to go. Hope you're ready for another. Ah, there you are, ready to revisit the past? The more you kill, the more you change my map, and the closer we get to finding the temple in the present day. Look familiar? This is the temple as you left it last time. Every new incursion changes this map of mine. With enough under our belt, perhaps the temple's current location will be revealed. Here's the plan. Let's have a look at the layout. Every incursion needs proper preparations. Have a look at where you're going. Good job. Good job, Exile. Just in time. Another rival killed. The original architect will be glad. Another rival killed. The original architect will be glad. Behold, the Exile, killer of rivals. Behold, the Exile, killer of rivals. The surviving architect's plans better be worth it. The surviving architect's plans better be worth it. Looks like you've killed another rival. Looks like you killed another rival. Good job, Exile. Another rival bites the dust. Good job, Exile. Another rival bites the dust. Ah, so you killed the original architect. How will their arrival change things, I wonder? Ah, so you killed the original architect. How will their arrival change things, I wonder? Another architect dead, and their room taken over. Another architect dead, and their room taken over. You certainly like to instigate change, Exile. You certainly like to instigate change, Exile. Down with the old, bring on the new. Down with the old, bring on the new. And they're dead. I hope their rival thanked you. And they're dead. I hope their rival thanked you. No luck this time, I'm afraid. Nothing's changed on the map. Not a bad thing. Perhaps not a good thing either. Keep trying. Nope, nothing changed this time. Keep trying. The more you change, the more we know. No change. Hope that's what you wanted. You've forged some new connections. You've forged some new connections. A fan of the path not taken, I see. A fan of the path not taken, I see. The temple looms closer with each new step. Find me again, and we'll continue our task. The location of the temple is now clear. Make sure you've got enough supplies. Let me know when you're ready, and we can go. I'll open another portal to get us there. Let's begin. Let's begin. Let's go. Let's go. Get ready. Get ready. Let's make history. Let's make history. Hope you've made some bag space. Today we make off with a king's ransom. Hope you've made some bag space. Today we make off like kings. Hope you've made some bag space. Today we make off like kings. I did it. I mean, we did it. The location of the temple is now clear. Remember to watch your step, Exile. We may have helped build this layout, but a lot can change in 2,000 years. There's no telling what kind of things have taken up residence in those ruins. We found the temple, but our job isn't done. Vile corruption has tangled time and space, and there's much to be gained by delving deeper. We could learn vast amounts by experiencing more time cycles and seeing every possible outcome. We're back where we started, but that also means we have a fresh opportunity to forge Atzoatl exactly as we please, and reap its rewards. A masterpiece of destruction. Time to fight! Sorry, Exile, I'm busy. Sorry, Exile, I'm busy. Something's not right. Come back later? It's time. It's time. Let's go. Let's go. Time to go. Time to go. You've found yourself a hideout. Could be a good staging ground once we've found the temple in the present day. Let me know if you've got space for me. Great. I'll see you there. Another time, perhaps. Oh, you've opened new paths. You've made getting around the temple easier. The paths you've opened will help us later. When I was young, my father gave me my first call to adventure by enlisting me in the employ of Dominus's navy. I used to love the sea. The way it smelled. The freshness of the air. But some stuff happened, and I returned to Theopolis, intent on living a lady's life. It was not meant to be, obviously. My lust for excitement brought me to the Reliquarians, a secret society of treasure hunters, funded by those cold and greedy societal upper crusts. I had my father pull some strings, and before I knew it, I was amongst it all, raiding temples and tombs across the land. But, well, you're an exile. You know how the Templars are. Untrustworthy is one way to describe them. When I came across a manual of vile blood thaumaturgy, I knew I couldn't let it fall into their hands. And it never did. Though that damned High Templar knew I was keeping something secret. And so, no longer welcome amongst the nobility, here I am, Luckily, there's a fortune to be made here, and a few of my old clients still remain loyal to me when it comes to spending what they have inside their purses. The lost temple of Atzoatl is said to be the most famed in all Val history and myth. Best I can tell, the temple began its construction in the final years of the Val Empire. The exact date of its completion has been hard to ascertain, as it occurred shortly before the events which brought about the civilization's extinction. Perhaps it is the fragility of the timeline that has made Atzoatl such a staple of Val mythology. Some say it was a place of darkness, home to the most vile of sacrifices. But there are others who claim the temple to be the birthplace of technology. Even our own is said to pale in comparison to what was being forged within those walls. Scholars today have even suggested that it was the treasure house for Queen Atziri herself. Whichever is true, it was bound to have been fiercely protected by fanatics and royalty alike. And if something's worth protecting, well, then it's worth bloody taking. Well, most of my market no longer exists. But I'm an adaptable type, and there are plenty of pirates, thieves, tyrants, and nutters who will pay good coin for my finds. I may just have to do a little extra legwork to find them. The Architect of Iron has established a smithing setup in that room. Take care you don't run afoul of their metal carapaces. Atmorhar's got himself a very nice armory thanks to you, and everyone else is sure to benefit from his protection. You've paved the way for a heavily armoured defensive force to take up residence. I'm not exactly sure why you'd want that, but maybe we can sell the armour for scrap. You've decided to keep the Architect of the Breach alive. I honestly don't know what he'll do in that room. Whatever Zilkwipper found in that room, you're letting him keep it? Bit of a risk. But no risk, no reward. Great. Zilkwipper's madness has given eldritch things ingress to the temple. Was that your intention? Or should I applaud you for your foolhardiness? Wise idea handing the room over to this architect. More blood to shed means more time in the great temple. Behold, the spoils of war. Without a rival, Atzoatl's sure to step up his recruitment efforts. Not a problem for you, I'm sure. You've let Atzoatl turn that chamber into a sanctuary for the most war-mad Val out there. I hope this doesn't come back to bite us. Now the Architect of Expansion has a base of operations from which to begin exploring Rayclast. With Urumoti's rival dead, his resources will be put to good use, furthering the Val's prodigious exploration efforts. Urumoti's exploration is on a scale like I've never seen. What are they looking for? What could possibly be left to explore? You've made space for the Architect of the Horde to keep his finds. Atzoatli's got a lot more room to store his strange collection with his rival out of the way. With another rival dead, the Architect of the Horde's gonna fill that room with all sorts of valuables. Good thinking. The Architect of Corruption has claimed that room for his nefarious experiments. Paquate's used his growing influence to funnel more corrupting energies into that room. The influence of his corruption continues to build. But you already knew that, right? The Architect of the Vault has taken that room? This is excellent news! Since you've killed his rival, we can probably bank on Atzoatl stashing even more delectable wealth in that room. Shall we make a bet, Exile? I bet Atzoatl has flooded that room with finery and treasure by this point. An exciting thought, isn't it? Because of your actions, and shadowed by those creeping experiments, Atzoatl, the Architect of the Swarm, now resides. With all fear removed, Atzoatl seems to have turned his tinkering to moving devices of strange metals. So the crazed scientist thought to combine both metal and insect. Hopefully they're long gone by the time we come back. In that chamber, the Architect of the Forge now hammers away in sparks and steam. Puhuate's hammer will continue to echo through the dark. I trust you have a reason for this. Your actions have allowed Puhuate's imaginings to run free. What kinds of horrible devices were forged within the flames? That room now radiates with energy. Jorpek, the architect of power, has taken it. Jorpek's experiments into electrical lifebloods came to crescendo in that room. The powers you've let grow in Jorpek, I wonder, how will they grow into the present? Ah, giving that room to Atzoatl. An interesting choice. Must you always seek out a challenge, Exile? Atzoatl has a mind for the Nexus, and with this action of yours, that mind continues to grow. God's Exile, you really want to make things difficult for us. Who knows what this part of the temple will be like in the future? Heyohi just wants to make things go boom, and stating them in that room could be helpful to us. Anyone would think you harbor the same lust for chaos as Heyohi. Well, setting them up like this only increases their explosive arsenal. At this rate, the mad bastard will have rigged the whole temple to blow. Atzoatl will surely reward us, if inadvertently, for placing them in control of that room. Both you and the architect of thaumaturgy share a love for gems, I see. They should call that room Atzoatl's jewelry box. Imagine what their value will be today. Such beautiful streams run through that room. It will be a shame to see Guatalizzi sully them, but all for the greater good, I suppose. What a lovely room of drowning. Ah, the Val and their charm. Still, having the architect of flesh here shall prove interesting in the future. Guatalizzi has really made these pools his home. Let's hope this plays out well in the present day. Ugh, the architect of toxins. Not my first choice to let thrive in this part of the temple. Sounds like Takati's plants are growing out of control. I hope to the gods you know what you're doing. You've freed Takati of opposition. Now he's free to fiddle with all his nasty poisons. All I'm saying is this better not make me ill. The royal architect has claimed that room for his queen. Gipocado seems fixated on making that room some sort of regal chamber, and you've just made it easier for him. Want to guess whose buttocks will grace the throne room you've let the royal architect establish? You've let the architect of ceremonies, the man who led countless human sacrifices, take that chamber. Ihuana's rival is dead, and now he's funneling resources to even bloodier sacrifices in honor of his false gods and his silly queen. The blood of Ahuana's sacrifices is on your hands, Exile. And now there will be a lot of them. A tempestuous character, Topatante, by all accounts. But if you want them in that room, who am I to disagree? The winds of change billow through that room. The architect of storms will happily build on your fury. The storm of the millennium, was it? Let's hope it doesn't ruin anything for us in the future. You've gone and let the architect of fortifications take that chamber. You know what fortifications are, don't you? We're literally planning on raiding that temple. You've slain Matatl's rival. That's going to give him the resources he needs to fill the temple with traps. Traps we'll then need to avoid. You've allowed Atzoatl to live, and as thanks, he's put traps everywhere. I'm not entirely sure you've thought this through. The architect of the guild was a notoriously talented jeweler. With him around, Atzoatl is sure to glitter. As Karpa's rival is dead, I can hear the jewels raining down from here. I cannot wait to find this temple. As Karpa yet lives, Exile, you're going to make me a very happy woman. Happy and rich. Takapa did love his gladiator battles. Historical records aside, I suppose allowing him to live might make weapons easier to come by. No better place to spill Val blood than in the arena. And no better architect to leave in control there than Takaba. So you left Takaba to reminisce in the shadow of his arena champions. Hopefully, eternity will reward your actions. Hikwani was obsessed with finding new and creative ways to get things done. Keeping him there will surely result in a reward, right? Hikwani doesn't get his title for nothing, I see. He's been very industrious in keeping himself alive and in business. I have to say, Exile, I'm desperate to see what your plan was in keeping this bastard breathing. I guess we'll see soon enough. History repeats itself. Hello. Hello, Exile. Hello, Exile. Greetings. Greetings. Go make history. Go make history. Go make history. Goodbye. 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 Another time. Another time. Bye. Bye. Bye.